Hello, this is Dude with Food here, and welcome back to part 2 of the polenta and mushroom ragu series. Is it a series? I don't know. It's just a 2-part video. I just thought I'd do this. So anyways, while your polenta was cooking, as I said, you could be doing something in the meantime. And what would I say what I was going to show you? Mushroom ragu. This is a very simple, humble sauce that I like to do with polenta. I just think it's just a very comforting thing. So, of course, we're going to use a little bit of baby Bella mushrooms over here, along with a little minced shallot and sliced garlic. Yes, I do slice my garlic for a reason. It's just less likely to burn in the pan this way. But that's another story I will explain in future videos. And then after that, we're going to add in just a little bit of chili flakes. I like it a little spicy right here. You don't have to add these if you don't want to. I just like mine a little bit spicy. And then for our herb portion, we have some fresh parsley, fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, and fresh basil. I just think those are a good herb combination right there. And of course, along with some humble cherry tomatoes. I like these little colorful ones right here, and I just thought I'd grab extra in case I needed more. But that's up to you. And then this is another one of my secret weapons, mushroom stock. This is a combination of dried chanterelle, porcini, and oyster mushrooms, and it just forms this earthy, woodsy, smoky broth that's just going to make that ragu even better. How much better? Well, let my face show you after I smelled it. Oh, it smelled so freaking incredible. I actually fainted. And I got back up mesmerized by how it did it. It's just that good. But anyways, let me show you how I make it. So when I cut my mushrooms too, I like to do a little variation. So the first one thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to slice them up like this. Just, get those nice slices going right there. And then to change it up just a little bit, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take this one and we're going to quarter it. I just like to get those little different textures of mushrooms inside there just to change it up just a little bit. That's just me personally, though. That's how I like to do it. And then we did drain off all of those mushrooms. As you can see, they're nice and hydrated again. And we still have a little bit of liquid in there, which is going to help the simmering process. But I just thought I'd show you that. And then we're going to do the same thing with the cherry tomatoes too. Sometimes I like to slice them in half, or sometimes I just like to slice them into quarters. I just thought I'd show you two again. Just slice them in half like so. And that way too, it just helps that cooking just happen just a little bit faster too. I just think that doing that just helps it quicken the process, because we're not getting a hard sear in these. These are going to simmer for a little bit. I just thought I'd just get some different textures inside of there. And as far as those little tiny cherry tomatoes that you see, you don't really need to cut those with your knife. You can if you want to, but I just think it's necessary, but that's up to you. So anyways, we're going to have our nice stainless steel pan here. We're going to heat that over a nice medium flame, because again, this is a gentle sort of cooking. And to that, we're going to add about 1.5 to 2-ish tablespoons of olive oil. Just like that, just to make sure that the pan is coated with a little bit of that glorious olive oil. And again, because we're cooking this at a medium heat, you don't have to worry about overcooking your olive oil. Just make sure that you're watching your temperature a little bit, because this does have a low smoke point, and you don't want that bitter, burnt olive oil taste inside of that. I mean, who does? Unless your taste buds want it. You can if you want to. You are the person with your food and everything. That's all up to you. But anyways, we're going to go ahead. After a while, it's just been heating up just for a little bit on the nice medium heat. And then, messing up my words right here. I apologize for that. We're going to go ahead. We're going to add in our minced shallots and our sliced garlic. And we're just going to go ahead and just gently cook those just for a little bit. Yes, I'm getting the rest of those shallots out of there because I'm getting tired of people that have taken so much effort into cutting them up that they just leave some of them inside those cups. Stop wasting food. But anyways, we're going to go ahead. We're just going to sweetly... Did I say sweatly? I did. Ugh. But anyways, gently sweat these just for a little bit, just to get them nice and translucent. We're not looking for a hard sear again. We're just looking to gently cook these just for a little bit. Just like so. And again, because you sliced your garlic, you will have less chances of burning your garlic. Yes, it does help. But anyways, and to that too, we're going to add in just a little bit more of those chili flakes. And we're going to, again, just a tiny pinch of salt. I meant to say salt. I said chili flakes. That's my bad. But again, just that tiny little bit of salt in there, just to help those vegetables sweat just a little bit. And now we're going to add the chili flakes. Again, the chili flakes, it's optional. You don't have to add them if you don't want to. I just personally like mine spicy. If you don't like it spicy, don't add them to it. It's all up to you. You are in control of this. But anyways, we're just going to go ahead, give those a nice stir, give those a nice little cook. Gently, gently, gently. Be gentle with this. See what happens when you're gentle with this? Good things happen. So there we go. Now that those have been sweating just for a little bit, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in our sliced and quartered baby bella mushrooms here in just a moment here. Just letting those kind of hang out a little bit. Hang out. Chill. By the way, you don't have to do the mushroom ragu. This polenta goes along well with any other sauce. You could do a marinara sauce. You could do a bolognese sauce. You could do pesto. Heck, some people even like it with maple syrup. Again, as I said, people like it sweet. I personally like mine savory. You're in control of that. But again, we're just gently letting these just kind of hang out just for a little bit. Just getting those gentle little things going on there. Hanging out, hanging out, hanging out. You know, because we're being gentle. Am I rambling? I feel like I'm rambling. Let's get back to it. Anyways, now we're going to add in those mushrooms. And we're not looking to sear these off a little bit. They are going to simmer in just a moment. But anyways, I just thought I'd put them in now. So that way they're just coated up. They're coated in that fat. Yes, I did say fat. Olive oil is a fat. No, you're not hearing that wrong. But anyway, just to help them get nice and coated. They're going to be kind of pre-cooked, so to speak. But again, I just thought I'd just help them get kind of a jump start, so to speak, right there. And you can already see it's starting to absorb a lot of the olive oil inside of there. No, you don't need to add any more to it because, again, mushrooms have moisture and they will release moisture. Plus, we're going to be adding moisture to it in a little bit anyway. And now is the time where, again, we're just going to add in those cherry tomatoes right there. Again, we're not going to cook the heck out of those tomatoes. We don't want to do that. We're just kind of making sure that they're in there. They kind of get a nice jump start, so to speak. Just stir them around just a little bit. I'm kind of starting with this video. I am so sorry about that. But anyways, just go ahead. Just give them a nice stir, so to speak. And now at this point, we're going to add in all of our hydrated mushrooms, all of our dried mushrooms that we have reconstituted. And we're just going to go ahead, give it a nice stir. You could chop those up just a little bit if you wanted to. I just felt like leaving them big because, again, I just like those textures, so to speak. Oh, this is going to be so good. And now that we have all of our vegetables incorporated into this, we are going to go ahead and we're going to add just enough of that mushroom stock just to make sure that everything is going to be simmering and getting to know each other very well. Now, the other thing about mushroom stock, normally on the packages it says just let them reconstitute for 30 minutes. Personally, I say the longer, the better. So my mushroom stock has been simmering, or not simmering, so to speak. It's just been hanging out for about maybe 4-ish hours or so, I would say. Overnight, preferably, if you want to. But I just did 4 hours. And I just feel like it just adds a better depth of flavor to the stock. And again, you don't want to add a whole lot, just enough to about at that point right there where the vegetables are just kind of hanging out at the top, so to speak. And to that, we're going to add in our fresh basil along with a little bit of our fresh parsley. And I just feel like these herbs just help it give it that nice brightness. And I just like the contrast between all of them. So again, we're using basil and parsley, and then we're going to add just a little bit of rosemary to this. Not a whole lot, because again, rosemary can be a little overpowering. And you don't have to worry about cutting them up, so to speak. I mean, you can if you want to, but again, I just feel like the longer that this simmers it's just going to help that rosemary soften to the point where you're just going to forget that it's just going to be a very nice thing, because sometimes rosemary can be a little bit tough to chew on. But again, I'm just doing this because I don't feel like chopping any more things anymore at this point, because I want some comfort food in my belly. So anyway, just get those off the twig. Make sure that you're not getting that brown stick in there at least. So that's the thing that you're going to be munching on the most. And again, rosemary is awesome. You don't need a whole lot to it. But anyways, now is we're going to add in just a little bit thyme. A little bit thyme. Did I say a little bit thyme? I did say a little bit thyme. A little bit of thyme. I mean, who's got the time to say a little bit thyme? Well, obviously I did, because I just said it. But anyways, we're going to add that into it too, so to speak. Or not so to speak, we're doing it. Jesus, what is going on with me? Who knows? But anyways, this is going to be a very flavorful sauce regardless. So now that we got everything incorporated into the pot here, I'll just add just a little bit more because I love thyme. Thyme is my favorite herb. And at this point too, we're just gonna add just a little bit of salt. You want to add a whole lot because this is going to reduce just for a little bit. Again, just a little bit right here, just a nice little sprinkling. That's about, again, 2 pinches, I would say. And of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add just a little bit of fresh pepper. Again, I love lots of pepper. You don't have to add the pepper, but I'm going to because I love pepper. Go ahead, give that a nice stir, and we're going to stir that around, and then we're going to let that gently bring that up to a simmer on that nice medium heat. Because again, we're not overcooking anything. We want it to be gentle. We want those flavors to just slowly come out of everything, and it's going to be a very delicious mushroom sauce. And I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, I don't like mushrooms. I think mushrooms are disgusting. You don't have to do this. As I said, there's tons of things that you could be doing with polenta. This is just my favorite method of doing it. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You are in control. And that is okay because you are doing something that says you. And that's what makes you, you. And I'll just go ahead, give myself a little action shot right here. So you can see it's gently simmering. It's not at a rapid boil. It's just gently simmering like so. And at that point too, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover this up with a lid and then reduce the heat to low. And we're going to let that go for about maybe 20 minutes or so. That's about as long as I had left on the polenta that I was cooking. And again, you just want it to be a nice, slow, gentle process. Get everything waked up. Get everyone saying, hey, I'm a mushroom sauce, and we're going to be delicious. So after about 20 minutes, you can see it's kind of reduced down a little bit. You can still see a little bit of that liquid because we do want a little bit of that liquid. But you can see everything is nice and waked up. Everything is really soft. Those tomatoes have kind of bursted open. It's got a lot of flavor inside of it, and it's going to be very lovely. Now, as far as plating goes for the polenta, there's a lot of things that you could do. You could just humbly use a bowl if you wanted to, or you could use a plate. Either one is up to you. Now me, though, I like to go the traditional Italian way because I am Italian after all, and I like to serve it on a nice wooden board. No, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this for presentation purposes. And again, some people, they used to like to take their polenta, just take it over that nice wooden board, and they would just spoon it over, splatter it all around, and they would eat it all together, actually. But since I had no one else to feed it around at the time, I just felt like feeding myself. So again, you're just going to grab it, spoon it on over. You can see it's still very creamy and very soft. I'm just going to go ahead, just splatter that around, smooth it out just a little bit or so, just to make sure that I have a nice even spot for the mushroom sauce. I'm bad with words, I know. But guess what? I'm a human being. We make mistakes. It happens. But anyways, now that our polenta is on the wooden board right there, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a little bit of our glorious mushroom ragu sauce that we have cooked ever so gently. And we're just going to go ahead and get a nice little ladle so, just like that. Oh yeah, see those liquids just pouring over the top of the mushrooms, the tomatoes, the rosemary, the parsley, the basil, the thyme, the shallots, the garlic, the chili flakes. Oh, I cannot wait to get this in my stomach. And then how I like to present it too, or how I like to serve myself with it, I like to take a little bit of extra Parmesan cheese, because again, a little extra cheese isn't going to hurt anybody. Just get that nice over the top, like so. And to that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to drizzle it with just a little bit of olive oil, just to help it make it shine. And plus, I just really like that raw olive oil taste on something like this. And we're also going to add just a little bit more of our freshly cracked black pepper. Again, black pepper fan, if you haven't noticed by now. And just to help it be nice and green, to kind of help you cut through that richness, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of freshly chopped parsley, just to help it give a nice color. And again, it just helps you cut through all that richness of that creamy polenta and that mushroom ragu. Ugh. But just look at it, though. Let's take a little closer look right here. I'm going to get you a better action shot. Oh, yeah. Isn't that just glorious? Ugh, it's going to be so good. But anyways, that is how I like to make polenta. And if you didn't believe me, here I am after my first bite. Ugh. symphony of bliss in my heart. Oh, be still my beating heart. That first bite was amazing, and I'm just getting so excited about it. But anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video on how to make polenta. I hope that this helps you try to make polenta for yourself again. Please feel free to subscribe, and please leave any comments or requests or questions that you have. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Thank you all for watching, and again, this is Dude with the Food saying happy cooking. Now, excuse me, I'm going to enjoy my polenta.
Oh, that's good.